Hey, hey, we're here. Or are we here? We should be here. And if we're not here, I'm about to find out real quick because, boy, there are certain things that I'm doing that I just have to make sure. I know it should be starting immediately, but I always do a quick audio check that I cannot do while I'm doing the stream start thing. But anywho, want to check these out live? Very difficult time zone? Oh, yeah. I've been trying to figure that out as well as I get into it. Though curious birthmark, all perks random item. Let me know if there's a time that you would want to see. I don't mind doing a little bit more streams at different times with Yashiro, but yeah, it wouldn't be the worst idea because I'm trying to still figure out. I mean, based on my analytics, there are viewers all over the world, so it's hard for me to catch everyone. That's why I put out videos at pretty much different times, just to see who and what I can do, who I can catch and what I can do to catch more people. Takshi-san's second, I almost said, well, we do have a strength check, light and maybe knowledge. But yeah, I'll work on it. I can try to do more, but it'll also depend on what I see, because I do have to try to catch as many people as possible. So excuse me if I can't catch everyone. So let me see, whatever works, just fortune. Yeah, so do I want to build knowledge and see? I just want to build strength. I think I'm just going to try and build strength. And if we get to the heavy duty, a fast weapon here, because well, apparently consistently you're supposed to grab, well, really the small candle, but the steak knife is not a bad idea either with how good quick thinking is. I've seen both work. I just tend to stick with with strength weapons, really. That's all I'm trying to say. But because we're Yashiro as well. Oh my goodness, I'm stumbling over the name Yashiro. I tend to build strength anyway, but we'll see. We'll see if I'm proven wrong. I do see scissors, recluse, sailors, painting, and Akamanto. That's not great. Akamanto third, scissors, recluse. Oh my goodness. Well, we'll go for it. If we're on timeline B, maybe we can make something work. Maybe. But since we're not, we're going to instead go and grab, or try to grab these scissors. I'll probably just end up doing that. I would like something else, but with the extra HP, I mean, I know it's only 1 stamina and 1 max reason more, but hey. So we're going to do this for more experience. It's going to hurt my reason, but maybe we lose more stamina. Just maybe. Oh, that's right. I should have unequipped funny enough, should have unequipped the bronze crucifix if I was going to do this. But maybe this works out? Not really. We can forget Void, so you know what? It's not so bad. We are on the thingy, the Thotu, and thankfully we're not taking more damage, but I don't fight totally good. I keep forgetting. Really enjoy the spells this game does. Can't help using magic. Yeah, I mean, when you get a good spell, it's a good spell. When you don't get a good spell, well, personally, I cry, but in a fun way. But boy, I think I'm just gonna forget Void. Yeah, it's not like we're on Ath, and that's more reason loss usually. There are cases in which you want to use Void, in my opinion, but I usually don't get a use case out of it. But if it works for you, it works for you. So as we move on, it looks like we're going to grab these scissors quite comfortably, but we'll see. We get 20 experience, but get curse signs, which means less curses or less spells to use. Unless it just warrants it. There are still things I would do. I'm just going to run from this because that's way too much damage. And we're going for the cursed scissors. Even if the eye guy appears, yeah, well, funny enough, well, again, this is my opinion, at least. Bare minimum. But, yeah, the good spells don't even get penalized under Ath. Now, that you can call that a design flaw, but that's just how the game is right now. I can't really defend it. I would personally make changes, but it wouldn't be really huge changes, because without that, I can understand the thing that is, well, spells are not really used often on Harbinger unless they're one of the better spells, obviously. That's right. Because I'm going to throw 2, I'm taking -4 all damage. But I still need these scissors, so probably just going to take 8 damage to the face. 14, 16, 12. Yeah, I can do it. With 5 strength, that's the bare minimum threshold. Did not realize how dangerous the other universe was at first. Did the glitch guy share animations with a magician or something? Yes, there's a glitch magician that usually shows up in Ath, if not always. I can't remember off the top of my head. And then there's a regular magician that I can't remember if he does the action limiting thing as well, but essentially there's a version of the regular magician. Now, I would like to not take so much damage, but I think we're fine. No scissor raising, so just eat this in the face. She raises the scissors now, if I can speak correctly, but we should be out. I'm going to throw this because we're going to grab the scissors anyway. That's 13, right? 14, never mind. I wasted a perfectly good wooden bat to throw. But more importantly, we grab a better weapon. And we are in pain, but it's well worth it. I would take Recluse now, but because we're so hurt, we actually need to take anything else before moving on. We're probably going to be resting regardless, but more importantly, we can use the police station, mansion, village. What were my mysteries again? I completely forgot. Yeah, I forgot. So, I think we're in town for most of them, though, so I can swerve if need be, and we're not really visiting the mansion or the village. If we have Vigil, though, that's a different story. We still need the handcuffs, though, so I guess I will just autopilot the thingy here. Because we can fight the roommate regularly, which, for reason damage, which is why I said we need more HP. It's him from the future. Could be. As someone who's played pretty much near when Early Access came out, obviously not the beta and alpha form, but still don't know as much of the lore as I should, even though a lot of it is up into or interpretation regardless. As I pretty much get close to dying, I should have rested here. Okay, thankfully we didn't get penalized, because that could have killed me. So we will need to rest here. We can afford to rest. Oh, our faith is at negative pain because of the just tanking damage in the scissor lady. But again, I think it was needed. And we'll keep moving on. Hopefully we can make it all back, but if we can't, we don't want Z. Oh, we're on all perks anyway, so never mind. My weird collection, regardless. We'll see. So we definitely need more. I think I'm just gonna take these curses. We have Recluse, so we can get rid of anything we don't like Blood Frenzy, but we'll see. Because I'm pretty sure I cannot really. I'm pretty sure I can't really, I know I have an old coin, but these aren't the worst thing. Paranoia is, funny enough, still gonna be right after Blood Frenzy if I stuff Toy Blood Frenzy away. But we'll see. Because now, yeah, now I'm eating -5 all. I could brace into something, but if I can do this, I can't, really. And I don't want to take -5 all, 75%. Yeah, the choppy images of the, the magician literally being glitched. I was gonna say something more, but I have to think about this. Do I just want to brace here? I want to brace here. Now, this isn't guaranteed, but maybe I should have got... No, because then I would have taken too much stamina damage. So what do I want to do here? 5 kick into a 12. Yeah, I think that's the safest thing I can do. And then handcuff. So we do that, and then we do this. Oh, goodness, I almost messed that up. We grab the Crestfallen Mask. We get a Cursed Doll for our trouble. That will actually help out somewhat. But we're still going to take Reason, because it's pretty important. So, for all intents and purposes, I should get rid... Yeah, I'm going to get... Still hard to say. Yeah, let's take Recluse now regardless, though. And start wasting our days away. We can decrease our doom, we get to rest more. If we don't get fetid fumes, we can get... So never mind, we have fetid fumes. I'm going crazy. Strength, good. I think I've been doing... I think I've just been playing really consistently. I mean, that's whatever it's going to be. But normally you're not gonna... We're not gonna run to STE anyway. As we grab this, because yeah, I think I'd rather stuff toy Blood Frenzy away. And we're on a Thought 2, but still. And after a certain point, yeah, I could I'm probably going to Old Coin Paranoia away. But we'll wait for that. Yeah, we'll wait for that. 5 Dexterity, we'll just spend the Doom here. Scissors and Recluse are a good combination of having lower Doom, on average, but as we fight this roommate regularly... 16... Do we get 8 damage this turn? We can, if we hit this. 85% chance. Good, we hit it. And I think we do... Well, we get close. Can we do this? 95. Oh, for the love of everything, please hit this 95 as well. Okay, good. We get the Occult Diary to lower Doom even more, but unfortunately, we have fetid fumes, but if I have to rest, I have to rest. And our faith is slowly building back up unless we get the Yashiro event, but for now, let's take Painting. As someone working on a game this narrow can hit deep sometimes, yeah. If you're saying Recluse, yeah. Although I still hate it. My luck is really at 3. Oh, did I use the corpse? Was that because of corpse dust? I feel like it was because of corpse dust. I'm going crazy. I don't remember. I'm also a bit tired because I didn't get a lot of sleep. But that's on me to figure out, and not anyone else. Even the game included. Yeah, no, funny enough, Blood Frenzy would have helped out here, but that's not going to happen, so... I could use the Cursed Doll. 70-70. That's... I don't appreciate that. I'm thinking... This is 14, but I don't really have anything to throw. Maybe I do use the Cursed Doll. Hope I only lose 1 stamina? Nope. Why would that ever happen? Well, at least I put the police patrols into the mansion, but we're still going to take penalty damage when we fail on a stamina. Or when a stamina... when we fail and stamina gets taken away, or we just run into an event that deals stamina damage. Hopefully that doesn't happen, but that's me hoping. And then coping if we do get hit. And as I said, well, we can do a 1 turn here, I'm pretty sure. Right? Yeah. Maybe not. I'm going to prep the flashlight to throw just in case, and I did need to because we only did 19 damage. Yeah, I lose a light source, but it's better than dying. Hey, Adrenaline, thank you for finally giving me this. I'm still healing stamina. But it would help out the most. Helps even more than increasing a stat in terms of making your actions faster. However, we're not fighting this boss because that's not going to end well. I could Curse Doll on the boss as well, but that would not be great for my stamina. And so as I commentate through whatever the heck I'm doing, we pass a knowledge check and move on with life. Another Occult Diary, so... We should be good for sailors, but let's not count our Yashiros before they've passed. Our faith is rising back up. I got less damage out of it, so maybe I did want negative faith still, but we're here now already. I could grab a pack of cigarettes if I sell things, which I will. I don't want to run into out of funds, so we're gonna spend this doom that I have, and then we'll move on. Yeah, so I am gambling a bit here. I'm gonna do 2 investigation. Thotu Flame will help out as well, because we're eating a lot of damage on a Thotu, as said here. So, as I said, I know we have cursed signs, but I promise you this is well worth it. And then we do this and we get out. Now, I still want to throw things away. Probably going to be the Marked Bible, and then it's going to be the old coin. And if we get a very, very bad... Well, one, we get the torch, so we got a light source. Like, we have a light source again, but two... I forgot what I was going to say. Or if we get a worse curse, then so be it, but... For now, we have the power of adrenaline, so let's just take 4 doom to the face. And move on with life. That'll increase my knowledge, but I'm pretty sure I won't need it, even if we have the 6th floor, which we currently do not have. We should be fine, although I am going to rest here just to be completely safe. Our STE counter is still at 1, so we can safely rest. Because if it's at 2 and above and you rest, for those who don't know, your STE counter will increase. And we'll do this because that, and yeah, let's get out of this mystery. Let's make sure we don't fight the boss, though, and move on. So without further ado, we do not have the 6th floor. I should have actually healed stamina there. There's no reason for me to do otherwise, but... We're also on our own, but we have all perks anyway, never mind. Forget what I said. I don't remember my seconds, but that's 74% Doom. Let's just say... 82% Doom, so I can rest 5 times. I don't need to. We passed the light check. We failed a strength check, but boo-hoo, nothing really happens there, so I'm gonna rest twice and move on. Hello, Takshi-san. I should have smoked these cigarettes, by the way. But unless some really freak accident happens, we should be perfectly fine here. Because I don't remember my second encounter at all. Actually, it might actually be the Scissor Lady, but it could have been something else as well. I know Recluse was my second. Nope, never mind. It was not. I was Akamanto because I did not want to enter Recluse doing the thing. I did run away from Time Warper, though, right? I did. So, we had more Doom to spend, but I've calculated my Doom. It's fine. Because then we would theoretically have 90% if we failed that. So, without further ado... And I need to use that phrase to fill in time as I switch to the scoreboard. That should be accurate for this thingy, but let me just make sure that I'm going to be pulling it up. Yeah, we should have a score of 2 at the moment as I, restart and bring us back in about 5 seconds-ish. But boy, do I have still a lot of gods to go. If you didn't already know, the rules were on screen, but essentially need to defeat every single, or win a run, survive a run against every old god. And if I get the same old one, I have to survive. But we get Herald, which is new, medical history, all perks, random item, Haru, which will help me save on Doom. We're on Herald, so not really anything too much to interact with Haru. A lot of indirect things, of course, but I can't think of them off the top of my head. Charisma, second, maybe, encounter. Strength, dexterity, Takshi-san. I really shouldn't say them in a weird order like that, but it's fine. Yeah, and the main reason I've started leaning towards no-weapon Haru is because I value keeping the nicotine rush more than grabbing a weapon. Although, both are very good, depending on the situation. I'd rather hedge my bets and grab a guaranteed second pack of cigarettes. A third one, maybe, but that increases Doom by a lot, but it depends on what mysteries I have. If I have, like, Akamanto Flood, then I'm probably going to prepare until I get 3 packs of cigarettes, which is normally, sometimes enough. No, I'm not going to say normally, as I see Metamorphosis. I also see Teacher, Arms, Sailors, Ramen. So we're going to take these 3 mysteries first, because they're all forced bosses. Arms, 50% chance, but you get what I mean. In the interest of preparing for Metamorphosis, as I crack my knuckles really quickly, I think I am going to do a thing. Actually, funny enough, let's take Arms first. I saw Teacher... Why did I forget the other 2 mysteries I had? I think it's like Ramen. They weren't very intensive. It wasn't Bulletin, that I know for sure. But it looks like Seaside is going to be max. So is Mansion, so... Either way, they're both going to hurt. because I'm going to be visiting the Seaside Mansion a lot. But until I see Household Hell or something weird like that, we should be perfectly fine to leave the police patrols at either Seaside or Mansion. I'm going to pick Seaside. But we also want the cigarette case because that's pretty cool. I'm actually going to sell this for funds. That used to... No, we're on random item stats. That's why this is selling for 1. This would normally sell for 2. You know, funny enough, if I use this, I might actually get more funds out of it. Yeah, I do. So... And if you get injured, so be it. That's what the school nurse is for. On a medical history one, history run, definitely. Speak slower, Jordan, or not at all. But I do want to grab as many cigarettes as possible here, so... Our Doom management should be good. Thankfully, the cigarettes don't cost an arm and a leg. But we will go grab for that, or grab 3 packs of cigarettes, because if nothing else... Grabbing a brick is cool too, but let's finally get a move on. We can use the monument once. We should be pretty good to do so. And we will... Then we can also smoke cigarettes a lot more comfortably. Yeah, we'll toss the discard... The discharge summary. How long has it been since I've done a medical history run? I feel like it's been a while. I have to also remember I have bricks, but I like kicking anyway because it's a guaranteed 80%. We're on Timeline B, by the way, so we will have a boss. I should share experience because yeah, no. We'll see. I'm gambling on RNG either way. For better or for worse. Now, I should have actually taken it, but we'll take the funds and then we'll still prepare. After a certain point, we will need to watch out for Doom, but until then, let's hope we roll well, if we're gonna roll well. That was a 12 roll immediately. And then a 10 roll, so, I mean, this is my channel. Say, for anyone who hasn't heard me say it, and or are new to this channel, and are not subscribed, and are maybe not be subscribed, if I can speak correctly, please subscribe to the channel. That would help me out the most. But, hey, my RNG is quite bad here, on average. And as I said, yeah, this is 65%. I'd rather go for 6 here, at a 64% chance. While bracing. I also have another pack of cigarettes here, but the chance of missing both of these in quick succession is quite low. Now, the fact that I've missed 2 out of 4 on an 80% chance to do a kick, I still have my phobias, but as we get tiny cuts, we should be able to do this. 82% chance. Now, I don't know what to say, but actually, I know what to say. And in fact, we're going to trade stamina here. Even if we have the boss fight, let's get rid of some stamina. And do a thing. The odds of that happening, that fight going as it did, was quite low. I think less than 8%, but... Anywho, as we proceed to take a bunch of damage. High strength character, by the way, but we are... Never mind, again, I just talked about this. I don't understand. It must not... Because Ito-sensei only appears in an event on Timeline B. But, also, unfortunately, I wasn't doing it. I can look at it later, but... I have Event of the Day. You can look up... If you look on my channel for the author event, I forgot what it was. I forgot what it was actually called, so forgive me, but... On ARMS Timeline B, you're supposed to fight the boss. I didn't fight the boss, but I saw an event that you would only see on Timeline B. So random timeline must be a... I mean, obviously it's still a bug. That's technically... It is technically a bug, but... If that's the case. Anywho, let's just move on. Let's just move on. Unless I'm completely wrong, but I've now seen it again and have confirmed it. Can I stop rolling 11s, though? I mean, literally, the stat that was being checked is my luck, so... I might need to rest here. We have 4 reasons, so maybe we run into Yasugi-san. We finally get a fair strength check. That was almost a failure as well, but... Anywho. I'm quite actually cold right now, but there's nothing I can do about that. We only have tiny cuts. We don't need that, although it would have been nice later on. We didn't get it. I could also put the police patrols here. Fine. I do need to get the sensor ready, just to be safe, but... Can I get a fair perception check? The answer's no. Goodness. Why do I know that my max stamina is apparently not at its... Or maybe it is. I'm going crazy. We do get adrenaline, so... Hallelujah. But more importantly... We have adrenaline. Wait, did I just say that twice in a row? I'm going crazy. Let's see if fast weapons are as good as they say. I mean, did I need to hit every single attack there? I feel like I didn't need to. How many of those attacks did I hit, actually? I did hit the strong. I needed 4 out of 5, right? It seemed, yeah, I needed 4 out of 5, and I had it 7. Well, they weren't the worst odds, but if that were the case, I should have just braced. I don't know why I do this to myself. I know why I do this to myself, because people keep telling me fast weapons are good on characters that stats are built for, like small candle knowledge, steak knife dexterity, and that's just not true for me. For me. I need to keep adding that because theoretically it works out, but for me it doesn't. It doesn't. Oh man. Anywho. Pretty sure there was a more optimal solution aside from bracing as well into a 2-turn for that previous boss or mid-boss, but again, let me tell you, doesn't work out so well. But let me remove the sensor from the screen and I will move forward. We do have the 6th floor. The second encounter was something else. It was definitely not the boss of arms. Did I fight anything else? I can't remember. I can't remember now. Maybe it was the gore-covered student. Well, we'll find out shortly. 40% Doom on our third mystery, which is going to be Metamorphosis, by the way, but nothing I can do about that. For the moment. Stock-chan, do we try it again? No, we need to hit every single attack, so that's not happening. We will do this, but if we don't hit at least 2 of these, I'm just going to give up on quick attacks that deal less damage. But thankfully we hit that, and I should just be increasing my odds here. No reason not to. And we should be able to hit 3 of these. Really, really low chance if we did not. Now we're getting items to throw, which is good, but we're still going to lose a boatload of damage on this boss. If we lose 3 all, it's going to still be a lot, in my opinion. On our own, or Hot Bath. I would actually like Hot Bath, considering we're on Herald, so this is a very Herald-specific thing. I know we're on all perks, but the strategy still applies. Taking Hot Bath here is very good against Herald, in my opinion, because if you get Fetid Fumes, you can at least still keep your rest at 3 Doom per 2 Stamina Reason on Harbinger. CQC training, absolutely useless. I'm not using a firearm weapon, and even if I were, aside from pretty much the police revolver, that's supposed to be what you benefit from because it's a fast weapon. Ha ha ha! I talked about it. And then On Your Own would have been a safe pick, but I'm taking a personally safer pick for me in Hot Bath. Just in case I need to heal. But as I roll a 12 on luck, it's going downhill. I should probably rest now, all things considered. Yep, we're gonna rest now. So 3 Doom for 3 Stamina, 3 Reason. And we're in a max threat level location. Not much I can do about that. If I keep to 6 and 11, 6 Reason, 11 Stamina, I should be fine. A spell would have been nice just for the gotcha, but G-A-C-H-A. Although I lost Reason and I can no longer rest now, so that's... Man, what a heck of a time to be living in. I think we can still 2-turn this guy. But boy, did I not like what I saw there. So, 90, 80, 80 on kicks. We'll throw a branch just because we can. If I wanted to go for the 1 turn, What are the odds? 90, 80, 80, right? 90, 80, 80, 64, 5, about 54%. If I throw the brick and then go for this action, this set of action. Actually, do I? This is, yeah, that's a real 9 damage. 9, 5. 9, 5, 14. I think I get out with this, right? Please tell me I do. I do. Because I don't want to take any all damage at all. We don't have fetid fumes yet, too, which is nice. But if I can go tireless and then rest, never mind, I don't have bath, I definitely need to rest. Sailor's ramen. So we're going to rest while we can. I don't heal all of my stamina, so we'll try to lose some stamina damage before we rest, but you get my point. We get the thing, we get masochistic, that's actually quite good for us. But we also need to run into things that I think that actually pays itself off, reason-wise, but we'll move on. Do I want another level up? I could throw the Dusty Grimoire away on top of the handcuffs, but handcuffs are handcuffs. Maybe we're fine. 5 dexterity. I'm just going to take the stamina damage here. Remembering that that's now stamina damage when I get away, it's fine. Wait, let's not take an injury here, by the way. I know that costs Doom, but in another sense, if we want to flip that around, that 3 Doom I lost was essentially 3 stamina, 3 reason. Or 2 stamina, 2 reason. But you know what? Let's just go for full throttle, right? Let's just go full throttle. Actually, I might even have enough for the lighthouse. Yeah, I should. So I can actually throw the cigarette case away. Right, let's see. How would I describe World of Warcraft's overall mechanics and game design? For better or worse, I do agree with some opinions that are the game's design may not all be there, but it does function in a balanced state, regardless of actual true infinites that do exist in the game. But I think its mechanics and design, if I looked at it like just as a whole, I personally, I mean, and it is still in my opinion, so I have to put that asterisk on as I say, they're all pretty good. There are some moments, well, even though you hear me, you could say, Jordan, aren't you complaining at times? No, because I think the game is still balanced enough where, and I've seen it with other people's gameplay, where there are RNG is hardly a coin flip, but at the same time, there are moments to be frustrated in, but I think it still works. The reason I say that is because you have to keep in mind that this difficulty that I'm playing on right now was a difficulty added by the developer because everyone else who was playing on True Believer at the time, the game was actually still too easy. Now, again, that's still my opinion. Some people still experience a hard time on Cultist or True Believer, but once you get the hang of things, especially with base events, the game, again, is in a balanced state, again, in my opinion. But I think it's in a balanced state. But the curves are higher. Can you explain that a little bit? If you're meaning the jump between True Believer and Harbinger is a big one, I would agree there. It is quite a big one. Even though, when you look at the numbers, it doesn't seem like anything changed, but because I've mentioned this before, I should say it again. Slow changes... Oh, we're on Sailors, by the way. I need items. Hold on, let me just focus for a moment. For Doom, to avoid a boss, I would rather do this. Actually, this Gruesome Totem is quite good, so I'm going to equip it immediately. But we should be able to history, yeah, and then we do this. But yeah, you look at the numbers, but changes in values of 1 can mean a lot in this game. Also, we just happen to get one of the best weapons for Haru. Best in slot item for Haru, aside from Katana, but... Anywho, yeah. Small differences, like if this encounter had another HP's worth of damage, I might not be able to one-shot it here. I do, obviously, because all of these hit at 100%, but you get my point. Even an extra point of damage means a lot in this game. An extra point of damage taken, not being taken, actually means a lot in this game. Your HP, although it doesn't seem like it, increasing by 1 or 2 means a lot in this game, so when things change between True Believer and Harbinger, like enemies do an extra point of damage, as I just said, there's another location that has a threat level at maximum, which means your overall doom increases on average. That curve, the difficulty curve does increase, basically, is what I'm trying to say. But if you meant something different, please let me know. I would like to talk about that as well, because if nothing else, I like to get my brain juices flowing, especially during a Nuzlocke challenge where I need to think. Do I have the 6th floor, by the way? I do. I don't remember my second encounter, but it shouldn't matter. Takshisan will drop immediately, especially with the handcuffs on hand. And I have 11 strength, so away we go. Besides those values, would you agree that my knowledge of events and encounters are the player's biggest... It's definitely one of the player's biggest assets. That's always going to fluctuate for me. I personally think it's number 1. So, as a short answer, yes. But there's an asterisk in that RNG. Because RNG exists, RNG can still be one of the bigger factors. But if I were to take a vacuum of runs, in my opinion, yes. Player knowledge is still quite important. What was my second mystery? I want to say it was teacher, because I did arms first, right? Okay, good. We're fine. We should survive. But the short answer is yes. The longer answer is yes. But it still depends. Because certain strategies employ RNG as well, which is why I said RNG could still be a big factor. Here, there's almost no RNG, because in this situation, obviously, I just do this, and I go fast. I can even insert strongs, but you get my point. And then we'll handcuff him on the ground. But yeah, that's the answer. It might change in the future, and I might think of something else, but in this moment, I hope I've given the right answer. I'm just gonna say Gore-covered student, it was. And let's get this Herald run away. And yeah, let's put Herald on the scoreboard. So that's 3 so far, and that's why I've done the... I mean, again, to the previous question, the fact that I'm doing a Nuzlocke challenge at all should kind of show you how we're still trying to add our own difficulty to the game. Although I think that part of that is... I think a lot of this game's enjoyment does come from the player's own experience. Again, you keep hearing me mention the phrase base events. That's because you could just mod this game to pretty much an extent where you have a different experience regardless. And then you can just do things on your side, but I think that's stretching it a bit. So as we go into our next run, let's see what we have on our plate. Goizo, 7th Curse, all perks, Ayaka. I think we'll be... Well, no, we have all... No, we have all perks. No. We don't have Ayaka perks. And I think Ayaka's perks still don't randomize in all perks. Both History Club and in Level Up. So this could... I mean, we're on all perks, but... Second encounter, Knowledge, Light, Dexterity, Takshisan. Or essentially taking 6 stamina, possibly 5 reason. And Takshisan is immediately there, but... Boy. This could go not great for me. If we have Ward, now that I haven't chosen the Legal Den, this could definitely go bad. We need some good RNG in level ups, but at the same time, player knowledge will still be important here. So I see Recluse, Mermaids, Nails, Coma, Ramen. Thankfully we have 5 knowledge, but this is not good. I guess we're going to take Nails first. We can save Coma and Ramen for later, because we have essentially 3 boss mysteries. I do like to get boss mysteries out of the way. Mermaids we can run from, but I think we'll do Mermaids 3rd. That way we can take Coma and Ramen 4th or 5th, if you want to know what I'm thinking. And get rid of the burns. Now, we could have gotten double flashbacks and died immediately. We can also now get double hallucinations and die immediately as well. But because we're Ayaka, I don't want to discard flashbacks, but I do, because the possibility exists that I get double hallucinations next turn. But first, let's do this. And then we do have 7th Curse, so we can immediately go for something. Yeah, I kind of wish we had... random item stats, but I don't want to equip the Monkey Wrench and add more RNG to my run. Again, your preparation at the very beginning of the run, although in hindsight when you lose, is still a big factor. I think is a big factor in your Harbinger runs as well. On True Believer or below difficulty, you can do anything you want. I think I'll still stand by that for the most part. Yeah, because we're on 7th curse, I'm more willing to do that, and then we'll get rid of hallucinations here. Thanks for the answers. Something you wanted to understand. The combat system in the game you're working on wanted to specifically work on the player's knowledge and experience how to react, along with peppering a bit of RNG. Yeah, so I think it's okay. Obviously, I guess the biggest takeaway for World of Horror, because this is a valid piece of criticism or an opinion that I think is rooted in actual fact, is that you definitely don't want a lot of bugs to exist in your game that are affected by your choice in design. What I mean by that is, especially if you're working with lower level programming languages, by that I mean things like Godot and Game Maker, and the phrase low level doesn't mean, oh, it's simple. It means you're working with more complex things, like having to work with... There's a recent video that came out that talked about... Oh, I think it's relatively recent. If not, I mean, still recent in terms of contemporary things, but where it talked about using the function of delta time in game engines like Unity, Unreal, Godot. So things like that. If your game's design relies on, like, on a game that requires more basically hand-eye coordination or is more action-based, you do want those functions to work, because if they don't work, they can influence, in your words, the combat system, affect the overall, I guess, game mechanics. So, and it relates to talking about World of Horror, because there are quite a lot of bugs that do change the balance of the game. So, I mean, yeah, the short version is smooth out any bugs that could heavily influence the balance of your game. But that requires healthy testing, I guess, which is usually something most game developers do regardless, but it is something that is easily forgotten as you're developing through the game, and it's very easy to implement a lot of things without testing, without going through a period of testing that might be much needed in your game. As a self-proclaimed game developer myself, also this is, yeah, not the greatest, but maybe we hit this. If we hit this, we can handcuff next turn. Never mind, we get bonus damage. I didn't know we get bonus damage, so what we're actually gonna do... Never mind, we still get nothing. We're still gonna handcuff. So away we go. We're definitely taking Recluse next, which is the important thing. We have the Blood Moon, so attack boosts are nerfed to the ground. But we are taking Recluse. Curse Signs Holes is pretty par for the course. And yes, at certain point, RNG is RNG. I wouldn't say not to add any. RNG is still a spice of life, as much as I seem to complain about it at times. But stacking too much RNG, even like an 85 into an 85%, let me just do the calculations quick, because I might as well while I'm sitting here. Actually, I could have grabbed the Cursed Doll maybe, but so be it. Yeah, 85 into 85 is 72.25%, which means you are throwing the other 27.75% people under the bus, theoretically speaking. Which I think, personally, is already... It's a bit much. It's not too much as I roll a 12 on luck, but the RNG there can be quite bad. But anyway, I shouldn't have done that, knowing that was that. I should have just taken Doom, but it's too late now. So, we do bonus... Yeah, so we do... This is a two-turn encounter. Using RPG Maker in its first person, I definitely have overhauled the combat to work more on dice roll system. Definitely find out World of Horror does so. Yeah, and World of Horror, I mean, it might not be the first game to do it, but it's a game that's happened to come out as a bigger game. Commercial success-wise, in my opinion, at least, that has implemented kind of a dice roll in its system, both combat-wise and event-wise, but mainly event-wise. Combat-wise, it's you still. I mean, it is just still RNG for a lot of things like accuracy, like actions like dodge, improvise or not improvise, distract the enemy for allies, things of that nature. So I did get another stack of hallucinations. Traumatize is par for the course. So what I'm gonna do is stuffed toy away the hallucinations curse. And we'll keep moving on. And lo and behold, I'm using RPG Maker as well. Unfortunately, we're working with the RPG Maker Stigma debuff, but that's not fair because you can say the same for a few other game engines. I'm not saying that in a negative way. It's just that there's a stigma. Obviously, there's a stigma for every game engine, but I think RPG Maker, in my opinion, objectively has a bigger developer debuff. But if you're doing things personally and or for fun, unless it's a commercial project, then that debuff doesn't really apply, because some of the time, and I've done it as well, I've made games in RPG Maker just for getting experience or trying to learn things. So yeah, without Blood Moon, this would have been a better encounter, but we'll deal with it. We get to... Ooh, do I just want to guarantee this? I think I just want to guarantee this. Yeah, let's just guarantee this. So I should be able to just do this and then Desperate Action next turn. Fear and Hunger came out around the time as World of 4 in early development. Yeah, yeah. I don't know the exact specifics behind that, but I wouldn't doubt it if... I wouldn't doubt that they came out a lot closer together than I would like to believe, so... Which is saying something, right? Like, those games... It seems like they've come out really recently. Also, we're on Goizo, yes, but I need to rest here, otherwise I die. I might need to rest twice, but that's a... I mean, I'm on Goizo. Well, shoot. I guess we're gonna throw a Hail Mary here. 35%. 70% into 50%. 50% of 70 is 35, but that's where my numbers are coming from as I lament my life here. And Blood Moon is doing a heck of a thing as well. Again, all based on RNG. I'm not saying, but still, even through here, I have a way to survive. It's probably just going to be running. Although the Lump of Flesh would be great. If nothing else, another tangential but much more related piece of advice is giving your player a lot of ways forward. So I could run away here. I could gamble everything on dodging here as well. I could just do prep strong. I could do 2 attacks in a row. I could do an attack into a strong attack. I can do 2 attacks with a desperate action for a possible 1 turn. I think this is also a good part of just general design in terms of player enjoyment, especially as it relates to games that deal with not just combat, but the little struggle that is the player trying to figure out things. No matter what genre of game it is, in my opinion, but here I'm going to employ my use of free will to run away, because while the Lump of Flesh would be nice, this is a lot more painful. I'm crunching the numbers in my head. Now, we are also taking burns, but we have 4 funds. I might actually want to do a thing. Never mind, I got time skip. I was thinking about grabbing a pack of cigarettes. We don't have bats, so actually my RNG is quite bad, in my opinion. Into Hunger Holes once more. Took a long time for Fear and Hunger to pick up in popularity. It was super niche for a while. Yeah. I mean, you could... Well, it's not a game that was... Well... Do I want to say that? No, I don't want to say that. Because I don't think it's accurate. I will say that, yeah, when you played Fear and... If you put your hands on Fear and Hunger, both 1 and 2, you could feel that there was something there. Now, there is still going to be a divide between people who just find Fear and Hunger 1 and 2, or 2, frustrating, but I think those are in the objective minority in terms of number of people. If we were to query a number of people who can play the game and consume the game, obviously, because you have to be within a certain age range, if nothing else, but I'm deciding whether or not I want to rest. I definitely need to at some point, but we'll take a thing. Yeah, because we're on Goizo, I'd rather spend the Doom here. It's more efficient, but that's what I mean. I guess another piece of advice. I'm not saying just to anyone specifically, because this includes myself when I say this, but realizing that when you crunch the numbers, or if you don't do your math correctly, balance can really skew towards it. I mean, as we see with certain contemporary games that have come out in recent years, if you don't balance your game correctly and don't crunch the numbers, turns out weird things tend to happen. Now, that's also true with World of Horror, but it's more forgivable because it's one person working on a game that has a bunch of, essentially at this point, as I said earlier, ways that you can play the game. So it's hard to, and even if this game had like dozens of testers, right, you still open yourself up to a lot of things that can go overlooked, I guess, in my opinion. Now, that being said, we are in quite a precarious situation here. Oh, that's right, I still have burns, that's right. My odds of surviving this run are quite low, by the way. Even if I took care of these burns, that would have been a very bad encounter. And now with Hasty Aid, it can turn into an even worse run, but we'll see. We might get reset this run. Oh, Mind Wipe. We can get rid of that, but I don't think we're about to level up, but it might be too late. Oh, it's definitely too late. We can't take this fight. We can't take that fight. We can't take that fight. Ask for funds, please. Thank you. And away we go. Trying to keep it as simple as you can to hold balance as add more. Yeah, and that's another balance. That's a very precarious balance that I think I firmly believe in is the. Yeah, you want your battle. Some people you might want. You know, you might go to the drawing board and say, "Oh, I want to add this and this and this," but even adding 2 or 3 extra mechanics to a game that only has like 1 or 2 already adds a layer of complexity that makes it, I think, in my opinion, that can make games too complicated and therefore reduce both the player enjoyability, immersion, and affects the balance in the game in a negative way, in my opinion. So keeping things as simple as, especially in this day and age, I think part of it is this day and age where we have a lot of games to play, so for better or worse, players don't have a lot of time to spend on a game, is I guess what I'm trying to say. So thankfully we got holes again, so we can get rid of Survivor's Guilt for the sake of Doom, but this is not a very good run. It's like a boat, don't want to sink it, but keep the voyage fun. Yeah, so that's a good analogy, because if you add too much to the load on that boat in terms of game mechanics and complexity, the boat sinks, just straight up. So, 5 dexterity, by the way, but I have to roll. We can still survive. I did forget my second encounter, so this is actually quite bad. Hopefully it's Roommate, because we're gonna have to keep running from these encounters. Ica on all perks can work out. Turns out, a lot harder than usual. We needed to pass that. So I'm gonna take a few more investigations, but we need to visit the monument and hope it asks for funds. We also needed to keep enrolling well, but when you roll 10s, 11s, and 12s, just die, fool! That is me, but as I get my scoreboard reset here, we go from 3 to 0 in short order. But that doesn't mean there are things I could have done. Maybe I should have actually fought those encounters. Maybe dodging would have worked out there. But I decided that running away was the best course of action. But maybe it wasn't. But hey, that's why I'm doing the Nuzlocke challenge anyway. No one's forcing me to do a Nuzlocke challenge, so I find this fun for me as I get into Cthulhu Scars, all perks, don't be okay. Mizuki wants fame, but we can work with this. So, now that being said, since we're on Cthulhu, we are taking more Doom anyway, but since we're Mizuki, I think still playing with ally attack is better. Knowledge, second dexterity, light, charisma. So we do have a charisma check. But we're probably going to fail the other two. So let's just build for ally attack. In less than 20 seconds, ally attack for setting it up is going to be the school becomes the schoolyard. Anything you want as well here, but probably going to be just a school nurse. And then seaside changes to a legal den. That's pretty much the ally attack strat startup. Nothing in the cupboard. I would have liked that, but hey. We find the rumor, we grab these funds, we put on some schoolgirl uniforms, and then we move out. Yeah. But it depends on our things as well. I think that's Nails over there. Coma, Festival, Hell, Sailor. So we want to take Festival probably second to try and look for more allies, but it'll see. Well, it'll depend. We only have really one forced boss encounter, so we'll take Nails third. We want to do any other mystery first that's in town, so I can grab allies. Optimally, one of these should be increasing my charisma, but if not, so be it. We'll go here, clap bow, and then we move on. So, what are you doing? -1 strength, +1 perception. I don't really care. We're doing ally attack, and I don't want to roll any more RNG. So let's go into the legal den and spend a bunch more funds here. I could also wait for Festival, so I'm using less Doom, but I've made my decision. So, into the monument we go. And we finally get to investigating. Don't usually play Mizuki. What traditional RPG classes would these characters be? Support type, leader, because when you consider them a leader type, I mean, that's one interpretation. There are probably at least a few interpretations, but off the top of my head, the leader type. An example I like to think of is, that I've done on this channel, is the Cthulhu RPG series that I played. There is a character that, while it's not a straight-up charisma type character, one of them is a otaku-like character that deals with the occult. That might be more Kyrie, but definitely the main character can be built to be a leadership type that buffs the others. Basically buffs in a way, but without going too much into occult knowledge or healer type, would be more support type that, like commanders in fantasy type RPGs, I guess. 12. I rolled a 12 on that perception check, by the way. That was not great. And we're in Household Hell, so let's actually put patrols in the mansion. But that would be the top of my head thing. If you do like a quick search online, you could probably find more archetypes. I'm about to die immediately to stamina, by the way. So let's find out. Let's just get lost here. As much as I would like to... You know what? At the score at 0, we're just gonna do this. Yep, we died. We rolled a 12 on perception twice. Hold on a moment. Kyrie is totally mage? Yeah. Haru Barbarian? Yep, that would be true as well. I need to lie down a moment as I rolled 2 12s in a row. Yeah, that's the thing that comes with dice rolls. What were the odds of that? 2 12s in a row, right? Well, pretty much, what would that be? 8% to 8%? I think that's actually less than a 1% chance at that point, but... what do I do? Obviously, I should have not... I obviously knew that when you succeed, yes, you get the katana there. I think you get Kyrie. And when you fail, you lose 3 stamina. I think actually, on a tangential note, you can't take penalty damage in otherworldly events, but... As I regret my life choices and my luck. Something I will say that we can talk about is that for World of War specifically, I mean, yeah, it's mainly a pet peeve, but it is objectively true in that I don't need to show you the score because I'm reset already. But so when your stats go from regularly 4 to 8, really, in terms of stat spread. If you roll a 1d12, you have to just consider what are the guaranteed fail rates, because at that point, if you have to roll a dice roll from even, well, let's be really lenient and say 10 to 12, so there's always a 25% chance you get shafted in events, pretty much. That's all I'm trying to say. And if that's comfortable with you, so be it, but just know that it can result in things like this. So, medical hit, or if you really want to be... If you want to go deeper into that, what's that? 25 into 25. There's a 6.25% chance that back-to-back a player will just fail twice. So, if you feel comfortable with those numbers in your game design, feel free. But as we get to Katak Medical History, character-exclusive random item Miku. Yeah, these moments will happen a lot more often than you think. 6% is quite high. Even though that doesn't sound... when you look at the math of that statement, that doesn't sound... That sounds odd, but there's a reason why a lot of gacha games stick with the 15% hey, you lose rule. Because 15% adds enough RNG for Yes, RNG, but underdog plays, but at the same time. Dexterity, knowledge, light, second encounter, strategy, and charisma. So every single stat check, maybe. Second encounter, light source, but we're Miku, so we're gonna do the consistent hardware shop strat. For preparations, we have library notes, so we'll use those too. And we want experience, so I can level up a lot faster early on. And away we go. Schoolgirl Miku. And let's see. Entering the Upside Down with a bunch of injuries. Scissors, Ramen, Botanist, Coma, Ward. Now, since I'm already reset, I might as well explore other ideas. So we're actually going to take Scissors now, because Ward is going to be a heck of a thing. But I do need to enter a town mystery to grab handcuffs if I want to actually fight Ward, in my opinion. We're on Timeline B Scissors, unfortunately, so we don't get a chance to pick up the Cursed Scissors, but we can clap and bow 4 times, that's fine. And away we go. Find that having a complex death rate makes this game much more replayable. And yeah, the realist, like, if I were to speak more objectively, 25% into 25% isn't so bad. It results in quite funny things that are interesting, that they're definitely interesting to watch. But at the same time, I can see how people could be frustrated. Now, as much as I was shouting and complaining, or seeming to complain earlier, it's, oh, that's right, I'm on random item stats. This is doing 3 damage for 107 speed. This weapon is basically useless, where we can't even run either. We're on Katak. Oh my goodness. I'm a bit heated right now, so I think what's actually going to end up killing me here is me rushing in. But, well, here we're going to roll on some RNG. So, this is going to hurt a lot, because we're also on medical history, so any number of injuries could hurt my face. And yeah, those are 2 injuries that I can't even do an attack boost anymore. I might even need to throw this bat. So we're going to do this so we can get out of this encounter ASAP. And already I've taken 9 stamina damage, which is not great. Hopefully I don't run into another encounter, but because that's not a real thing, yeah, we're almost going to die immediately. We can't run. I've died immediately. Yeah, that was a terrible choice on my part. This is really bad. I might even want to improvise. Yeah, I want to improvise. I might get a better weapon here. And by better weapon, I mean nothing, but you get the point. We at least do... I think this is actually 8 damage, funny enough. Oh, I can't even prep strong. Hey. Do we get out here? Let's find out. Now I'm just curious. Okay, we do still do 9 damage. We're not going to run into an encounter, so we don't... Well, yeah, I might as well equip this. I should have traded Reason for Stamina. That would have been a fair assessment, but... Let's just grab funds and move on. Random item stats, I didn't get the choice. I hit Quick Play, and Quick Play, if you random... Well, Quick Play randomizes whether item statistics are random or they're the same, so... You know what, I'm going to do 3 claps just to hope, but... Odds are there's still a low chance that I die because I have the Tireless bonus, but let's find out. Because, yeah, if I do this, but I don't lose the bath, I should be just fine. That would have been really bad RNG. Again, my RNG is not the worst, but it is still quite bad on average. But, as I move on, Ramen, Botanist, Coma. A lot of hospital investigation, but let's find out. Let's get rid of Botanist first. Just in case I get roads closed. Downtown Hospital. We do have a... Well, that's unfortunate, but... We can enter Coma next, but I want to enter Ward. My Doom! I mean, my Doom is still quite low, but... We'll do footage. I could save Ward for... Because our Doom is so... Where our Doom management is okay. I guess we could think about running away from the boss of Ward. I do have a medical kit. I do have a medical kit, so I can also... I'd rather get rid of the torn muscle than the broken bone. So let's do that. But I can also treat the broken bone here, so I might as well do that as well. while grabbing painkillers. Another discharge summary would have been nice, but that's not happening, so away we go. Yeah, I didn't get the choice to do random stats. Now, that's part of the challenge, but you get what I mean. We're gonna do looting because might need, if nothing else, I might need to enter the doctor's office a whole bunch of times, but because I'm dying to stamina, and I don't want to be stuck in a forest with 4 stamina, we're gonna heal stamina rather than increase strength. Which is normally what I'd like to do, but we're Miku, so our stats will slowly increase. Now, since we're Miku, what I actually should have done, as we get a bite, that's going to infect itself into... How did I know? Goodness gracious. Anywho, if we were to pick apart the layout, what kind of map style would say game is? Would say it's a branching diagram like a tree. Could world form function in an open world style layout? Definitely could function in an open world layout. It already is by design a table RPG. If you haven't already heard someone say it, I definitely say it a lot. Can we brace here, by the way? Hold on, let me focus for a moment. 67%. I'll go for it. And then we prep attack, prep attack. I still need a weapon, by the way, so... Oh, this is not guaranteed. It's 97%. Anywho. Let me just make sure. Okay, good. And let me see here. What kind of map style? Branching diagram like a tree. Map style? I don't want to misunderstand your question, but I'll try to explain where my answer is coming from. It might not be an answer to the question directly, but I mean, the fact that I said TRPG should already kind of let you know, right? But if we're talking strict programming, like game design wise, I wouldn't know the exact phrases off the top of my head. I rolled an 8, so my charisma didn't really matter, but maybe I should have just taken the guaranteed injury. Because I had 3 dexterity anyway. But, ooh, rock ring would help though. But how I think of it is that if you mean map design in terms of how the player interacts and moves around, again, even though it's not strictly a video game in the video game sense, I consider it more a table RPG. So each location is a deck of cards, and each card is an event or an encounter. Like the Infested Girl is a card that says you fight an infested girl with these stats. An event in World of Horror would be a card in itself. That's, I guess, my shorthand answer. I'll leave it at that because I might not be understanding exactly what you mean. 75%, by the way. That would be nice. We get bonus damage, but hey, broken jaw doesn't really matter. So let's just prep strong our way out. Yeah, understand the first point. It's T-board. Yeah, so that should let you know. And if you can come up with parallels, they probably apply. So just in case, because I don't want to say more and just confuse things up even more. For myself included. But yeah, as we leave Tachi-san, Shiro-san. We have a Shiro and a Yashiro. That's another... I guess we can go tangential as I autopilot here for a moment. Unfortunately, I can't even... Yeah, you would... Improvising here would be kind of good. But naming your characters... Naming my characters both in-game as a game developer, but also as a writer if I write stories. I normally don't like to choose names that are similar, either phonetically, but mainly phonetically, actually. So what I mean by that is... There are 3 characters that came out back to back that had M's at the start of their name. I'm not saying that you can't do that. It's just that, at least personally, it's kind of jarring. Now, the worst case it's jarring, but the worst case situation is if people are confusing the names of your characters. Obviously, you don't want that, but... So yeah, we're gonna take Wardforth, definitely, by the way. We'll take Coma now, so we can switch the police station to downtown, which we'll need. But the reason I do that is so that it also, on the flip side of that, it allows players to more, I guess, in my opinion, immerse and be connected with the characters. So there are 3 characters that came out back to back that had M's in their name. I don't even remember the order. I want to say Mimi, Miku, and Moriko. But to that same extent, Shiro-san is a boss, but Yashiro-san... Yasugi-san? Oh my god, I'm already making a mistake. Yeah, so that's what I mean. It gets confusing. Now that's more in line with being a pet peeve, as I get a 4 stamina damage. Yeah, it's still kind of much for speed, but It's better than what we have equipped. But yeah, character names being too close like that. I have a general rule, basically. I won't say what it is because I don't want to influence anyone too badly. 2 perception, by the way. You know what? At this, no. Let's dig through the sand. We get funds. Hey. I can recognize that there are multiple ways, be it asking a question, expressing, because people generally offer what they think is the most correct answer. Yeah, that's something that I think, I mean, you could say it's a drawing point, but I look at things as positive and negatives. You could call it, in its positive sense, you could call it being cautious and thinking of possibilities. In the negative sense, you can call it paranoia and indecisiveness, but I'll take it as a compliment, and I thank you for it. Otherwise, I will move on, because I don't want to confuse anyone too much. I like to let the person think for themselves, and I think that's the kind of audience I would like to foster. But obviously, I do have my own traits as a human being as well, which I would like to both improve and hone, I guess, is for lack of a better word. But I also still want to be humble, because I've been humbled more than a few times in my life. Let's take stamina, by the way, because we're dying. But 41% doom on our thing, and we don't have bath. I'm gonna gamble... Oh, wait. No, we have ward next. I'm gonna gamble on getting the tireless bonus. That's a conscious decision I'm making. Call it being creative? Thank you very much. I'll take it for the compliment that I hope it is. Again, I don't want to be certain. I might. My words. Anywho. Gosh, you're making. Oh, I shouldn't even do that. But 2 all for 8 damage. Can I hit this? I'm on Kathak though. I can't run anyway, so I can throw the broken box cutters. What would that do for me? 1 damage when thrown. I'm thinking. I have Unearthly Suture, by the way. Oh wait, I can't cast it because I have a broken jaw. Removes an injury, but I have a curse that allows, or an injury that allows me, that disables me from casting spells. Anywho. What am I gonna do here? I could throw the Carpenter Hammer if I want to be funny. $13 damage, so I'm basically off because I think random items don't affect the random item stat toggle doesn't affect how much you get. Yeah, it doesn't. But I don't want to throw the rock ring either. So what we're gonna actually do? Do I want to do this? 82%. Yeah, let's just do this. 82%. I take -2 all damage regularly anyway. Now, that's right, I'm on medical history, so... Oh, that's right, this is one of my most hated combinations, Kathak Medical History. Because you're stuck in an encounter, but getting hit by an encounter can proc an injury, so... Speaking of combinations in game design that can result in both fun and frustration... I might need to throw the rock ring... But I think I'm just going to play it safe and brace into a kick. Yeah, that's probably what I'm going to do. Now, I'm taking a big gamble by hoping I don't die by an event, but... If this is not... I didn't count my investigations. Hopefully this is the last investigation. Threat level increases? It is. I get the tireless bonus. If I don't lose Bath, I'm okay. I'm okay. Roads are... Sorry. Yeah, roads closed. Oh, we don't have Bath. Forget Unearthly Suture? Good. And now I can rest more comfortably. Did I use my handcuffs, by the way? No, I did not. So we're gonna rest to our liking, because this will help Miku as well. But essentially, we're gonna get close to topping ourselves off before moving on. We're in Kathak, man! Although at the same time, we have Coma and Ward, so hospital encounters are going to be very painful. I think the easiest encounter in the hospital might be the Bloodsucker enemy. An extra point in strength would have actually helped me out here. I should have actually rested. No. We can run from this, but at the same time... Okay, we're gonna try to handcuff this nurse here, which we do. And then we're going to brace here for a moment and gamble again on a 79% chance, but I'd rather do that than take a bunch of reason damage on average. You get an army knife here? Wait, what? I've never seen that. I should have been recording. I mean, I am technically recording. Looting? Question mark? Or no, pickpocket? Question mark? Please let this be the turning point in the run. 6 damage, 9... Okay, yeah, so this is the turning point. But although, I mean, we're gonna be very slow with it, it's pretty much a fire axe. Yeah, that's pretty much fire axe stats. Still gonna be better than Carpenter Hammer until I get 8 strength, so you know what? I'll take it. Don't want to cherry pick the best parts of the World of Horror for a game, but consider how it works. Understanding is better. Understanding it better is very educational. Yeah. So at this point, I think I'd argue that that is just that you're taking inspiration from World of Horror, but obviously I can't know for sure, right? We can only see if anyone really creates a game, and then not the ethical point, but what you want to avoid is that people compare it to World of Horror, in my opinion, but really, legally, you don't want, well, legally, but also, I guess, ethically and from a business standpoint as well, you don't want to make a game mechanic that essentially is a mechanic in a game that people can say, oh, you just took it from. But at the same time, if it's dice rolls, implementing a dice roll system in the game, implementing a system that is essentially a dice roll system in the game, that's pretty much a very... I mean, we've seen this with a certain very popular IP/table RPG that tried to... I'm going to set this trash can on fire, by the way, in-game. But that tried to, what was I want to say? Not copyright, but you get what I mean. Trademark a game mechanic that is very, you can make a common logic argument that, hey, that's just part of any game, and it's not something like the dialogue circle in certain other games. But I think you can understand where I'm getting at, where there are two sides of that as well, where people can say, oh, you just took that from this game. But at the same time, if it's so generic, like another example is, jumping in platformers. That's a very exaggerated example, but, jumping as a platformer is, oh, isn't that just a certain plumber? Then it's like, well, no, because jumping is a common mechanic in and that's a very poor example, but I think you get where I'm getting at here. Also, we're doing this so we can just desperation in our next turn, because yeah, that's a lot of damage. And I can grab a pack of cigarettes if I get out of this mystery, but we'll see. Is Doom unique to World of Horror? Not particularly, because you can treat that as unless you're calling it Doom. But if you replace the word Doom with something else and implement that in where, say your game comes out and they're like, oh, if the... it's another term in World, but there's your character is infected by a horror meter, and when this horror reaches 100 or 50, then maybe someone can make that correlation. But if I were on a jury, I would not rule you guilty unless there's a reasonable cost. Again, at that point, it's kind of... I would not take the risk, but you can take the risk. Like, I wouldn't judge anyone guilty. But at the same time, you can think of, I think, similar mechanics that... Because essentially Doom is just another form of HP as well. So, as I pretty much die because of RNG here, let me just... I could take Doomed already. I'd rather take Adrenaline. We're going to heal stamina so we can survive. And we'll move on. But yeah, Infestation. I mean, again, I wouldn't really put it against... Actually, I wanted to get rid of something, didn't I? Yeah, I probably did. Well, too late now. We'll rest again, just in case we don't get to rest. But, more importantly, I did handcuff a nurse in-game, and this is too much damage. So, bye. Again, I wouldn't say it But if you're once you get to like 100%, I mean, I'm not saying that you can't do that. You could probably do that. I'm just saying, yeah. I personally wouldn't do it, but at the same time, like, again, there are other mechanics you can think of. Basically, if you can logically, reasonably assume that it's not too close to any game, really, not just World of Horror, go for it. But yeah, like me personally, because this goes in line with my own development theory, where if I see someone, that's why I don't really mind playing games as a game developer, because then people might say, well, aren't you just, aren't you just playing games to steal ideas? No, because my usual line of thought is to avoid implementing things, at least design-wise, programming things, game theory, game mechanics. I try to avoid emulating the same mechanics. Also, I should be grabbing a pack of cigarettes here. Yeah, I try to avoid doing that and doing my own thing. Now, obviously, there are certain things that, yeah, like I wouldn't, obviously, copy-pasting a code snippet that directly exists in a game, that's a big, big, big no-no. But taking a... No, because I don't even do that. But if it's very common, like, say, using a for loop to iterate over an inventory, using a this is a very archaic statement, but using a to point to skip dialogue here and there depending on branching conditions is I don't think it's too much to say, oh, you're copying off something, so I'm gonna take this risk, by the way, because I need to. But yeah, that's my thoughts. I mean, I know I'm kind of going away from the first thing about, whether or not certain terms are the same, whether or not certain mechanics are the same, but I don't think it's completely unrelated. Anywho, or if nothing else, you get a bit into my thoughts, and you can hopefully think of your own things. Again, just not to any specific person, or even me. Well, it includes me, but to anyone really thinking about game development, whether you are a game developer or not. But as we do this 12 day, like it, finally my luck is turning around, but at the same time, we're in a lot of pain. And we could still die here. So, let's find out. I'm gonna take a risk. The pain. The police patrols are already on downtown, but hey, wouldn't make it 100% fail state, but it would make things difficult. And I'm not a lawyer, etc. Yeah, so, yeah, and I'm not exactly a lawyer. If it were that easy to decide why everyone would be a lawyer, or if you look on the other side of that, two, why would we need lawyers? But I should have actually visited the monument just in case it asked for funds, but it's too late now. I did forget my second encounter, and we do have the 6th floor now, so I want to be a little wary, but first... Yeah, and if it's not 100% fail state, I think that's already, like, 2 to 3 degrees of difference is already enough, I guess, if that makes any sense. But what I mean by that, if you've changed one thing, and then you've changed another thing, I think you're already far enough where it's farther away. But that depends too, like the look of it, like if you're making a bar that fills up like this at the very top at this specific position, even if you add 2 or 3 degrees, it kind of looks the same. But at the same time, you can argue not, so... Again, all about risk and... It's all about risk... What does it say? Risk, not management, but maybe that's the word. But hold on, let me just do this there. Dexterity, knowledge, which I both don't have at 8. We do have a strength check, but I can increase my knowledge to save on 3 stamina here. Light, we don't have. We have a charisma check as well, so... Actually, do I die here for this? We don't have Takshisan, so my doom is theoretically at 96. Oh boy. Am I okay here? Maybe I should have taken doomed already. Well, we can... Well, I think we survived with that. We should be able to survive with this. Can I increase my reason, by the way? Yeah, we should be able to do that, and then rest once, and we should be okay. Question mark. Funny enough, we don't have Takshisan, so there's no one I can throw these items at, but it's fine. We should be able to survive. That'd be really weird. if we don't. So I completely don't remember. I'm pretty sure I did. It was a Maru into Young Witch. Yeah, it was. So never mind, I survived. I should survive. Please tell me I survive. And we will move on to our next run. I would say this is because my sub main is Miku, but hey. As we get Katak on the scoreboard, I think I have one more good run left because anything else... Again, I'd normally like to go for 2 hours, but I don't like to go over in case people can't catch me. So, without further ado, I didn't switch to the scoreboard for some reason. Let's do that now. Hey, our score's at 1, but boy, is that not... Like, that's happened a lot now, so that's not anything to be too celebratory about. But it's a good start, especially for a run that was... I mean, I probably made it more difficult than it needed to be, but hey... But here's another Katak run, by the way. Exquisite Taste, character exclusive, random item, Toshiaki. Thank goodness we have character-specific perks, because that might be our saving grace for this Katak run. Now, unfortunately, we don't get to rest with Exquisite Taste, but as we get Strength, Knowledge, Charisma, maybe every single... as we take possibly 9 stamina damage, 3 Reason, and take 10 Doom. Doom is the least of our worries. I still want the book strap, by the way, though, so let's switch that to prepare. Well, funny enough, switch this to switch that to the schoolyard, just in case I can pick people up. And we don't need the monument because we're Toshiaki, so we'll move on. Although we will still use the library notes, and we'll do that to avoid dying to Frostbite immediately. Unless we pick up a Monkey Wrench, which I probably will do. My voice. We have Kana, Coma, Footage, Sailor's Flood. Well, hey. Eel's Footage Flood seems to be where I'm going to be going. But as I mentioned earlier, we're going to be grabbing the book strap. We're going to be grabbing funds. We're going to be grabbing a weapon. But I think we have a random item stat run. So my question is... Never mind, no question. We're grabbing the heavy-duty flashlight and moving on with life. Equip the book strap, we're good to go. Now, we don't get to rest, as I said, but hopefully it's okay. That roguelike element trying to make lemonade out of whatever RNG gives you. Yeah, so that's a... I mean, roguelike, I think that's one of the traits of roguelikes. If we're going over the basic traits of roguelikes. It's not exactly the term RNG, but randomly... not randomly, procedural generation, which is why I guess some people don't consider World of Horror a true roguelike, roguelite, because it's the random elements are pseudo-random, but also random in terms of what events you get. I'm also deciding what I have here. I guess we're putting the police patrols at school, but it still fits a thing because it's not exactly permadeath, but you are still grabbing upgrades that, or you're unlocking things, so they're not strictly upgrades either. But of a true roguelike, I guess, if we're using, you know, depends, again, it depends on the definition, but I definitely see, oh, that's right, I have a book strap. I have a book strap, I should have taken that now, or equipped that. Is that you lose everything? But again, that depends on who you're asking, I guess, at this point. Also, I don't know why I did that, because I should be taking Doom increases, but hey. I was just talking about doing good runs, and here I am not doing good runs, but hopefully we hit this so we can Desperate Action next turn and trade stamina, and the answer to that question is no. But this should be 15 damage? Yeah, this is 15 damage. I feel pretty confident it's 15 damage. And we perfectly get 100%. And we'll move on. So this is a weird, not weird bug, but it is a thing. So Strong does 50% more damage, but it's, you see it's that it's at 7. So Desperate Action doubles your damage. So you think, okay, Strong does 7 damage, it should do 14. But the reason I personally think it did 15 is because the 50% is then calculated on top of the Desperate Action. So 5 plus 50% is 7.5. exactly, and then 7.5 times 2 is 15. But I don't know how it's exactly working. Whoever's working on their own game, just consider that. Technically, I mean, literally it is a bug, but it makes sense in the game code. That's where, what do we call that? Not a syntax error. It is a, what would be the programming term? I know there's an exact phrase for it, but anywho, we'll move on. So we'll save Kana here for the sake of taking less damage. Yeah, my reason gets thrown into the trash, but hey. Isn't Endless Mode more traditional? I guess it is. Yeah, I guess it would be. Although even roguelikes theoretically have an endpoint usually. Or do they? I think the traditional old school roguelikes are pretty much increase in difficulty until the player dies. Why do I feel like that was the case? A heretic, and if it shares elements, call it a roguelike. Yeah, so, I mean, if it shares enough elements, in my personal opinion, it has to have at least a few. Again, it really depends, because you can... There are also aesthetics and stuff that people might look at, but anywho. Also, I think I've been forgoing books that I could pick up for the bookstrap, but it's fine. In my opinion. Coma, footage, Sailor's Flood, yeah, so let's do footage now. Maybe I should have taken Flood instead, but we'll find out if I made a good decision or not, because I do want to switch to the mansion, but if we have to visit the school in Flood, then I've made a mistake, but we'll see. I should have actually visited the school first. I don't know why I did that so early, but anywho. We lose reason, and yeah, I've made a mistake. I've made a big mistake. I've made a very big mistake. Now I need to hope I survive. Actually, I didn't even need to put the police patrols in the mansion, because this is footage. For some reason I thought it was household hell. But as we do this, we might actually have one more run left, because I'm completely spaghettiing this run. Rest wouldn't be a bet if for some reason... No, because we're on Kathak. Never mind. Because we're on Kathak, we did want to pick up the bookstrap. Encounter efficiency is going to affect us here. But I know I fail. I know Doom increases when I fail that. The other one, if I fail, is Reason, so let's avoid that. And let's hope for the best. That was really good RNG, by the way. Time skip. We're Toshiaki. I don't care. Let's take a bath, heal Reason, and move on to Flood. We do have Toshiaki stuff, so funny enough, I'm taking Cure here over Krutski's. While it would be nice to defeat the boss here, I think it's more important for me to do this. Although, in the interest of not dying to flashbacks, I'm going to take Dexterity and before we move on. And away we go. So we have Kana with us as well, so we're going to do this. And hopefully everything works out. Although I will do this. Never mind, I'm doing this. No, I'm just going crazy. What am I doing with my life? I should have just done that. That spider encounter gets you every time. Like, what? Oh, yeah, so... for me, it's the bite. It's the bite event. It's like, really? What happened? Oh. Cut that. As we enter this max threat level school and lose more Doom because of it. But we also visit this forest to get the Theologist. To mitigate a whole bunch of things. Now, I'm taking that on purpose to take stamina damage over reason damage. And we get the attack. Okay, never mind. This run is turned around in terms of RNG. This is really good RNG. I'm gonna actually go for... Never mind, I can't go for the one turn. I lied. What I can go for, maybe, is a dodge. Because I get out in 2 turns anyway, and I'm only taking 1 damage. I might as well do that. But... unfortunately, I got hit because dodge is not an efficient action for me, so hey... And then we rest until the end. There's something I was probably going to say, I forgot. So, away we go. We didn't even top ourselves off, but hey. We're only taking 1 reason damage, so... whoop-de-doo-dah. One day, if you ever get to mod and make customers of World Horde, it'll be set in the street. Yeah. Yeah, go for it, man. It's... again... It would not be a bad idea, even before 1.0 came out, I said people should just start making mods already. Because otherwise, all you're really doing by holding off on making mods, if you are, you know, just sitting on things, waiting for more... If you're waiting for more mechanics, I would say not to do that. But if you don't have the time, you don't have the time. That's the, at least, excuse I'm using. But, realistically speaking, you might as well, because all that's usually happening is that Panstas is adding things on top of what you can already do in-game. So therefore, by making a mod, you are already building towards what's likely coming out in the future. Now, if I'm wrong because Panstas decides to completely overhaul the modding scene, I mean, just, that's egg on my face. But the chance of that really happening as we take Thought Flash to become Ultra Omega Toshiaki, the chance of that happening is quite low. Hopefully my RNG doesn't affect everyone. But we'll save Sailors for last. The Torch might be an interesting pickup, but since we have Sailors, actually I want to leave things in the mansion for the moment. Just too busy, but it's a dream mod to make, yeah. So, already, I mean, unless you have a very specific thing in mind, then theoretically speaking, you would be waiting for an actual addition of a completely new modding. I don't want to say mechanic, but I'm losing my words right now. As we roll on a 90%. But you can theoretically make a thing but you would have to kind of twist the lore, and maybe it's not to your liking, which is why you might want to wait. But at the same time, essentially, if you make a bunch of events and theme them, basically make a themed mod based on making a lot of events and enemies, of course, then theoretically you can do almost anything you want. In theory. Now, in practicality, if you have a very specific, not just theme, but for the lack of a better word, theme in mind, then maybe you can't, but that's what I mean by whether you're waiting or doing things. Again, I would normally advise, well, we finally missed an 80%, that was par for the course, though. And I'm gonna brace here. Yeah, we're gonna brace here, just to see. But yeah, I would recommend everyone start working on a mod, no matter how slow you might be going, me included. We missed another one, didn't we? Well, I guess now we're gonna do it again. The chance of this is quite low. That way we can Desperate Strong our way out. And then we can Cure of Cthulhu's, whatever it's called. Although no, just in case weird things happen, I'm just gonna burn it now. But yeah, basically, I should just be working on events and mysteries, but I just keep making custom characters, so yeah. I could grab a pack of... No, never mind. That's right, we're on Exquisite Taste, so we don't have the vending machine. So we're just gonna take this reason damage here. Theoretically, I could fight the boss, but hey. Let's level up and see what we get. Shebs would be nice to... Did that actually increase? Why do I feel like this increased to 5 Doom? Anywho. There's no way that's affected by random item stats, right? I'm going crazy. We'll do Sailors, we'll throw away a branch, we'll throw away something else, but we'll see. We have the schoolyard now, but my Doom is so low that I can't even intimidate the students well to recruit them. So without further ado, let's grab more experience, because we can sit on level 4 for now, not really any other... No other perks I'd want, so basically we're sitting pretty. Unless we die to 0 statting, but that's really the only concern I have. We'll even leave the mansion at max threat level. Actually, no, there are police patrols there. It's just at max threat level. We're on Katak, so we can't run, but we have Cure, so theoretically speaking, the Doom will pay itself off. Now, we are taking a bunch of damage, but... Hey. Is Shebs? No. So we'll keep doing that. That's well worth the cost I'm spending here because I can't escape. Otherwise, that would have been the best use of my Doom, to run. But yeah, I think in the interest of both everyone's time, really, as a whole, but also my efficiency and not getting reset now that I'm probably going to be on the scoreboard even more. Yeah, this will probably be the last run. So without further ado, if you're watching right now and you're not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. But otherwise, I mean, we're nearing the end of the stream. Memberships are open for $3 a month, but that's obviously a paid option, and if you don't want to do that, I understand. Subscribing is the free option, but also watching my videos and commenting and all that stuff helps out as well. We have Cure, so we're just gonna ascend this lighthouse and cure anything that we might not have. Now, Infected Wound was getting a bit scary there for a moment, but we can do blah. Oh, not that. We can do that, but then we can do this, but then we heal like that, but then we can increase our stats. But yeah, if I die here, I will just put myself on the scoreboard, but we shouldn't die anymore. And yeah, I can just say anything I want. I'm Toshiaki, baby. But yeah, not much else to say. I'll probably be doing another event of the day I want to do that optimally, but I've done a stream already. Theoretically, my quota for the day is done, but optimally speaking, as I update the score, well, never mind. That was a Katak run. I didn't even add to my score, but yeah, without further ado, if you have any other questions, I'll stick around for a moment. Otherwise, yeah, just kind of saying what is on what's going to happen for this channel, because I am still developing 2 games. One is supposed to be more a commercial project, but we'll see what I do. I should really get to work on that more than the things I'm working on, but yeah, this is my current score. I think we're going to end on this scoreboard, and without further ado, let me do this. And I'll think of anything else to do. But if anyone has suggestions both for World of Horror videos or streams or for this channel, feel free to throw them out. I have my own ideas as well. It's just that this Nuzlocke, I mean, I swear I'm not trying to drag it out, but it just so happens that it is what it is. So my win rate not being as high as it should be, that will be the end of this stream. One last time, please subscribe to the channel if you want to support me short-term and long-term. Otherwise, that'll be it for now. So I'd like to thank everyone for watching, now or in the future, and I'll see you later. Bye! And thank you for asking those questions, because it's good food for thought.